going to start streaming. And we should be streaming.
Hello, world.
Hello out there in television land.
Hello, NABLL. Welcome. Woohoo! Hello, Yeti Nation. We're live.
So with us today, we have the one and only Paul Necker and the one and only Bob Leary, the voice of the Utica Yeti.
What's up, fellas? What's up, Bobby?
I know those guys.
I know those guys.
So we were talking a little bit about the NABLL. How many of these players do you guys know on other teams just from the years of playing?
That are in the Nationals, Beach?
That are in the Nationals, yes.
None. That I know of off the top of my head. Myself personally, as far as, these guys are coming from, you got Seattle. Maybe we've bumped into some guys or we've had some conversations at camps or clinics or Placid or at tournaments, but to say that I know many people, let me say I do know some, and that would be down on the Collar Kings, and I apologize to the Collar Kings. I didn't forget about you. I just wasn't thinking. And the Collar Kings, we know players. I know players on that team. That's about the only team I know guys off the top of my head.
Well, you know some guys off of that team, and I thought you said, is it Kyle Baker from the Northman?
Oh, yeah, thank you very much. Yeah. As far as you're going to refresh me on some of the names, and there's so many names and faces in regards to what I've done. I'm sure Bobby he's got a great memory of that right there. As far as that's what makes the whole thing special is throwing some Robert T. Leary stuff into this. I love it. But that's what I know. Bob knows more than me.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but I imagine I know players. I need to see rosters or I need to see the guys and, be like, I know that dude. You know what I mean? So
exactly.
I'm sure. I mean, we know people on Collar City for sure.
Right.
And, of course, if there's any Herkimer alumni, we know those guys. And, I don't know. I'm excited to see the rosters and see the people from the different areas. I bet we know some for sure.
I'd be more surprised if you didn't. Now, I see you're sitting there. You got a Herkimer coffee cup. We got a Herkimer banner in the background. Yukon Cornelius, I believe.
Yeah, that is Yukon Cornelius.
Could you tell us a little bit about yourself while you're sitting there with all that Herc gear?
I'm in admissions at Herkimer here, so it's what I do when I'm not doing the lacrosse stuff, and I have a couple of baubles here at the admissions office, and the rest is up in the lacrosse office. And if I had this more properly planned out, I'd be up in the lacrosse office and have all kinds of stuff behind me that was supposed to be displayed so I could impress people. I only have a couple of things I can show today, though. I have a couple, though. I'm looking at a couple things. I want to definitely show one. Let me see here. Let's see what we got here. Oh, yeah, look at this one. That's a good one. And then I'm going to bring this one. Okay. So here we have a picture of the Back in Black team from back in the day. Matty Chappell's in that one, and I'm in that one back when I could go without a shirt, and Babs is in that, and Andy Farrell, and some
Murph.
Guys who are. Yeah, is Murph in there?
I thought Murph was in there. Isn't he in there? Okay, you're too close to the camera. Back it up a little bit.
I'm sorry, I don't see it.
There we go.
I don't see it.
Okay, maybe he's not in that one.
Yeah, but it's a nice team, So, and then of course, Nick, this is where I get all my knowledge.
Yes, my friend.
Free lacrosse.
Is that the Mike Bartlett edition?
On the live stream, can only see what is your right side of the camera as you're looking at it, because I got to crop a little bit of you off.
I didn't want anyone to see that anyways. I call it plausible deniability. So
that's a sweet shirt you got on there, Robert T. Thank you for representing.
It is a Herkimer General shirt.
Yes.
Is this your first year coaching up there?
Started my second year.
How did last year
Yeah.
go?
We were 5-4. We finished 9th in the country, and then we became 5-5 in the playoffs at Onondaga. But it was a great year. I mean, we only had 14 guys, and we've got like 22 right now. So we've got a healthier roster, and the guys look great. Great energy. It's exciting.
That's awesome. Now, how did the year go? Didn't you guys lose a bunch at the first half of the year, and then you kind of figured it out and started moving forward?
Well, I mean, we only had 3 guys when I got here, so we really had to develop the roster, and we had to get the alumni back involved, and that was successful. And we brought in 10, 11 guys. And second half of the year, we had enough to play. I wasn't even sure we would play at schedule. And then, thankfully, we won a couple games. And next thing you know, we were ranked pretty much the rest of the season. By the end, we were pretty good, even though we really didn't have any subs. And, we played with 11.8 players. My average was 11.8 players out of 14 because of, you get a concussion, you lose a kid, that kind of thing. But my staff did a great job, and we didn't have any soft tissue injuries to speak of. So, it was a very rewarding year, honestly.
That's awesome to get to watch everybody grow. Now, how I know you is you coached against me when I was in college, but more importantly, how I've gotten to know you is as the voice of the Yetis. How many of these guys have you watched play from younger kids up through?
I mean, I was Brandon Davis's first coach, no question about that. And, I mean, I watched Nick Suits grow up playing. Sully, I coached Sully in high school, and, I steered him towards Hartwick where he went, and he was a tremendous player. I didn't really know Mario. I knew quite a lot of them, and I got to know, I knew Neil. I kind of got Neil. And Paul connected, and and that was an important piece, I think, to have a guy with the knowledge that Neil has. That was helpful. I worked a camp with 4 by Hill, and he's been great. Hit it off with him right away, and Ken Bomberry kind of brought us together out at Beach Dogs Camp. Out in Rhode Island, and it's been a great thing. And most of the guys on the team I was familiar with at the very least. Like Blaine Stotler, I didn't really ever coach him, but I played against him a few times, and you had the game plan for him. So
yeah, he's one of the guys you try to neglect in the broadcast. You don't
Blaine.
I
got to de-emphasize that other play. Yeah, I can't be emphasizing the Department of Motor Vehicles too much. So, no, sincerely.
On that?
I mean, I love those guys, and really, I love Nick Evanoff. I think he's doing a great job, and I do get a little carried away with the Herkimer thing sometimes. So, I'll try to give love to Polly and Utica University and. Everyone else. If we ever have any Hamilton guys, which we did, we had Austin Curtis was a Hamilton coach, and Nate Farrell was a Hamilton coach. So we've had guys,
Well, Miz was up there for a little while too, wasn't he?
I don't know. I know he was at Utica University before he was at Poly.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
Now, how many guys do you have right now that are coaching college teams? I know Versace's coaching girls at SUNY Poly. Is that?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my. Well, Neil was over at the World Games doing, and I apologize. I think I said Switzerland the other day, but wasn't it the Netherlands?
The Dutch team.
It was the Netherlands.
I corrected. I put
the Dutch team.
I put the link over the top for you.
Okay, appreciate that.
You got to do easy voiceovers over Necker when that happens, like make it sound like flat.
There you go. I like it.
Yeah.
There's a couple loud Yeti calls during the last game. Sorry about that, people. But as far as coaches, Well, I know Blaine. Blaine is actually, I think he's a track coach at one of the local schools, isn't he?
Yeah,
Or
and
he was?
he's a strength coach at MVCC, I think.
I believe so. Yeah. As far as Nick Suits helps out actively.
He's at
Tyler Hutchinson is active in the
Whitesboro.
coaching scene with
Yep.
Whitesboro. As far as down in the Binghamton area, I know Brian is Conzola is helps out with their I think at Union.
Shenango Valley.
Is that where he's at?
I think
Or is
he's at
it
Shenango
Union
Valley.
Forks? Or not Union Forks?
He's not at Shenango Forks. He's not
Okay,
at
not
Shenango
Shenango
Forks.
Forks.
He could be at Union Endicott, though. I don't know.
Either way,
Right.
we got a lot.
Yeah, as far as the spreading of the love in regards to the game is throughout. Absolutely.
That's awesome. Now, what are we expecting taking the Yeti to the Nationals? That's one thing me and Paul talked about earlier. There's not a lot of college guys on their team. They're losing their face-off guy, which Jimmy Vanu steps up huge. It's not,
Did
it's
last
not
game.
that he won't be missed, but compared to some of these other teams, I've talked to two that have 3 to 5 college guys on each team. They're missing.
Well, I mean, I think getting out. I'm not going to say the hardest part is getting out of, the Northeast, but getting out of the Northeast is not easy, and so they've already accomplished quite a bit, and taking the Eels and Oswego was red hot at the end. That part was not easy, and the Collar City team is certainly very good. That scrimmage was tightly contested, and I was out in the Midwest, so I'm a little bit familiar with the Wheat Kings and what they have. And, is there a Chicago team in? Bandits in?
I don't think so. I think it was the
No.
Wheat Kings. And we've got Seattle. You've got you guys. You've got the Northmen.
Oh, Northmen are always good. Always good.
Yeah. Now, they're one of the older teams in the league.
Tough.
It seems everybody knows who they are.
Right. Tony Sorcy was involved with them before he came to Utica.
They were the Voyagers, right?
Oh, that's right. He was with the Voyagers. You're right.
Yeah, it was the Voyagers. Yep, it was the Voyagers.
But I think
Never
somebody
mind.
said the Voyagers became
But those players, so several of those players are part of the Northman organization, yes.
Right.
And
yeah,
you know
what? It's the National. Everyone's going to be good. You have to assume that.
It's going to be, I think it's going to be amazing lacrosse. I think we're fortunate to be able to stream it, so hopefully everybody will be able to see it. Can't wait. You guys want to talk a little bit about Laxnai? Explain that to us? Because I have no idea what Laxnai is. Everybody seems to know.
Bobby, I'm going to let you start. And you have a better,
sure, I'll take
much better.
Laxnai started, maybe 2015 or so. Connor from Lacrosse All Stars started that tournament at the Onondaga Res, and it was instantly a big hit in the box community because not a lot of people had been invited to the Onondaga Res from outside of the local Can-Am community. So people jumped at the chance to be in it. It was much bigger right away than they anticipated. And, of course, Connor has Lacrosse All-Stars and did a great job promoting it worldwide. He had the right connections, and now they have Scott, who's involved with Team Israel, who's already hosted a World Games in Tel Aviv, involved. And, of course, Rob Esch running it from the Utica standpoint from the Adirondack Bank Center. So, I mean, the Nexus Center, it's so large. I like to liken it to, back in the day when the Grateful Dead would come to town before everyone knew who they were. And all of a sudden there'd be all these hippies. And then by the time people knew what was going on, the hippies were gone. I really think that's how this thing is. There's going to be players from Poland and all the Slavic states and lots of Europeans. Israel, of course, has a team. We'll have Team USA in town. They're expanding divisions. There may be there may be some things going on. I really don't want to overstep my bounds and talk about things that I'm not sure are going to happen. But it's going to be one of its kind. It's going to bring all kinds of life to Utica, and there may be some bigger stuff following this in the next few years. It's an exciting time to be involved in box lacrosse in the upstate area, and particularly in the Utica area. It's there's a lot coming. This is just scratching the surface, and this is just going to get bigger. Can't say enough about Laxney, the experience. It's going to be kind of like Lake Placid meets the World Games meets box lacrosse, and the three cultures melding. And we happen to have the 92 team here at Herkimer, which was the first of a 3-year undefeated run, going in the Hall of Fame on Friday night, and then our alumni game is Saturday, and there's going to be a lot of Herkimer guys around too at the same exact time, which I'm not sure if that even should be legal, but it's going to be exciting to be romping around downtown Utica from Thursday to Sunday. It's going to be great, and I'm sure that they'll do it very, very well. So I'm excited about it. I wish I could be there all the time, but I'll be there every chance I get. That's all I have to say. And Paul has his team going in, and with how many teams we have? 4 teams between Utica and Bang City and Tri-City has a couple of youth teams going in. It's going to be really, really special.
As far as the word is out, I don't know, but I know we have interest of the women's. The women's interest has definitely jumped, Bob. I got some more info that we'll talk off off air, but exactly what you said. It's going to bring something to Utica. I mentioned to Beecher earlier that the whole downtown area, the community aspect. It's going to be pretty awesome. I'm sure Utica. The celebrations of Utica past. Well, get ready, Utica, because the celebrations of Utica going forth, I think they're going to rekindle some spirits. That's for sure.
You know what you could liken it to, seriously, and Paul, tell me I'm not wrong on this one. When you go to Disney, that League of Nations area there where they got all the different nations, that's exactly what it's going to be.
It's going to be pretty awesome, is what it's going to be.
Oh, it's going to be amazing.
Especially with it outside, the venue of how it's set up right now. It's going to be pretty impressive. They're closing down the middle road. They got the turf with the rink outside. They got lights, from what I understand. It's going to be quite a festive atmosphere in that, and that's just the outside. That's not even getting into the odd where the horn and the lights and everything else. But the outside, I think, is going to be just as festive in regards to the ability to move around and have fun. You're not sitting in a chair. You're gathered around the rink, and to see all the be able to see all the local guys. They're going to have their tents set up, and it's going to be a not to say carnival, but like a carnival kind of experience. Like Bobby said, the League of Nations thing it's going to be pretty cool. I'm thoroughly I'm ecstatic about it. I love it.
Yeah, what's not to love, really?
Right?
What's not to love, really? Nope.
No.
Sorry. I had the repeat there. I was trying to make sure that people were hearing us.
Really? I gotta say, what's not to love, really?
Yeah, what's not to love, really? That's perfect, because we couldn't be without hiccups. So hopefully that's the only hiccup. Hopefully they can hear you. As we heard, we are obviously hearing somebody.
Herkimer.
That's amazing.
Are we all still there?
Oh yeah. How does it feel to be a part of this? I mean, because really, I think you should get a lot of credit, because having the battle on the barge, the Laxney guys being able to see what kind of show you could put on in Utica, and this is with a semi-pro team, so I mean, you've got guys that are they're paying you to play, and putting it all out there. That speaks to how important lacrosse is to the area and these players. But how does it feel to help bring it here?
Well, they're not paying us anything for sure, but anyways,
Yeah, but
you know
as
what?
far as it's all about
It's great.
the love of the game.
It's a lifetime of work for Paul and I both, really, and we do it, out of the kindness of our heart, the passion for the sport. It's, it is. It's not. It's a creator's game. And it's a medicine game, and it's not lost on us by any means. And to be able to spread it even further, and get more awareness in the Mohawk Valley, just nothing but good comes from something like this.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Absolutely. Bobby, I was talking to Beecher a little earlier in regards to just the history of where the Tri-City fields are, and just the opportunity of getting the history out to where we live. The grounds that we run on and everything is what's I find so compelling, not just because of the game, but the history. Especially where we live. And you being the teacher and the historian that you are, you're the one that lit the candle on that. I'm happy to be along with the for the voyage. But do me a favor, Bob. While we're online right here, the name of that book.
What
the stick.
Spirit in the Stick by Neil Duffy.
That one.
Spirit in the Stick.
Spirit in the Stick. Thank you.
That's something that we use for our culture, among other things. But you can feel the ghosts. I mean,
just threw it up in the chat. Spirit of the
before
Stick.
there was before there were colonists in this area, there was definitely lacrosse being played for hunting rights and stuff like that. And I used to ride. I still do. I ride Route 28 between Herkimer and Oneonta. And sometimes that road, any of these older routes, they'll make turns. Like, why is there a turn there? Well, because before there was pavement there, when that was a running path between a couple of villages, there might have been a tree right there where that turn is. And I mean, you can feel that. People who get this game, I always think, can feel that kind of thing. I really do. I think the people who really get dialed in, you get aware of that kind of stuff, and it's special.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it really is. And thank you guys for what you've done. But 40 years of Tri-City lacrosse. Give me a little breakdown of that. What is 40 years of Tri-City lacrosse mean?
40 years we've been. There was a need when we started Tri-City. Paul was just a little fella, and
little guy.
We started. It was my freshman year of college, I think, and Gino DeCondo and I both had gone and played in college, and everyone else on the team. You're from Whitesboro or Rome at the time. There was no such thing as New Hartford or Holland Patton or Clinton or any of that as far as lacrosse goes. What would happen is you find out when you're at college, struggling against all these players from Fayetteville and Jamesville and Irondequoit and all over the place. Everyone goes home and they play all summer, and they're like, well, maybe we should do that. And so we got together and we formed a league, and Timmy Shane was there, and myself and Bobby Dix and Gino and Jack Angersano, who had coached us all. We divvied it up. And I tell you what, at one point in time, we were having a huge argument about what we were going to do with the teams. Like, a lot of people wanted to go Rome guys on one team and Whitesboro guys on the other. And I'm happy to say I won that argument. I said we should draft it NFL style, because otherwise we're going to have just two rival teams who never liked each other, and we're going to continue to not like each other, and there will only be the two teams, and then it'll be over in a couple of weeks. And I think I turned out to be right on that one, because when you get to know the Paul Neckers and the Darkangelos and all, the Darkangelos and Colburns, who are natural enemies when we're growing up in high school, start to get the commonality that the sport gives you, and then we become. I mean, actually, the whole rest of the world's saying, "What are these Utica guys doing?" So, I mean, we're kind of all in it together, anyways, and we became more all in it. And as New Hartford came, it's like any stew. The more ingredients you add, the better the stew is, and the more rich the experience is for the guys. And you watch how close the guys on the Yeti are. That just takes it another step. Adding the Binghamton guys, and you got the guys coming in from Onondaga and stuff. It's I mean, what a great sport. We're lucky to be involved. All of us.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen.
Kind of crazy how it all came together. I believe you remembered the MV team I played for against the long sticks playing offense. Blew your mind.
I didn't notice that at the time because I obviously would have said that's illegal. But you had a mastermind.
No.
I don't remember who the guy was. It's kind of like a mad scientist. He had a play called after a bird call or something. It was a very creative time for Mohawk Valley there.
A lot of great things came out of Mohawk Valley.
Hawks don't fly. Remember, Hawks don't fly. They soar. Hawks don't fly. They soar.
Right. So yeah, that was a great time, and that was great. You guys were great. A lot of fun.
It was. I had never actually won a lacrosse game until I went to Mohawk Valley. My high school team was a guy who knew a little bit about lacrosse, just a super awesome guy who coached so we would have a team. Then I got out to Utica, near the heart of lacrosse, and I was like, oh, I don't know anything. Very humbling.
Hey, Beecher. Guess what? Bobby was at your very first game that you won.
Yes, he was.
Yes, he was. He was a spectator at the MVCC against Jefferson.
Yeah.
He was at that as a spectator. How about that, huh?
Drove up. Yep.
Yeah.
Only because the Fairground Inn has great sandwiches.
That's true.
Out of that team, though, you have Dave Sikosi, who has now been playing for you for 20 years.
What a great guy, great player, great mentor.
Yeah, awesome guy.
He's a traveler. He comes in just north of Albany, like yourself, and he's here, practice in, practice out, game in, game out. As far as he's been a part of Tri-City since he came down from Lowville. He played in the USCLA with us, and the Tri-City USCLA team when he was not readily available for the MVCC team. So it was, to say pretty cool to still have a kid that I coached back in 20 plus years ago still playing on my team. That's pretty cool. Pretty darn cool.
You know what? It's one of the things we're trying to do with Tri-City is make it womb to tomb, so that if you're going to be in this community, you're going to be able to jump in as a wee little kid and go all the way through to we do have the Mall Walkers team right now, which is a very elite group of more elder statesmen playing at a frenetic pace out in the box over at Westbrook.
It's a pace that, you know what? Some might be able to hang with us.
Some.
It's really a tragedy that we lost that footage we had of it because one of your mall walkers didn't know how to press stop stream, but we had some real highlight footage. I mean, I was getting revenge for Jobson. Every time you touched the ball, I was like, oh, look at the speed! Look at the speed!
Jobson runs circles around me, to be honest.
Jobson is way faster than anybody gives him credit for. He's a lot of fun to watch. He's got great hands.
He's got great hands. Great hands. He's got an eye for the net. He can put the ball in the back.
We watched him grow up too, so I mean,
that's got to be awesome for you.
He was, yeah, it is. It's great to see the not to say the evolution, but to watch the evolution in it's evolution of lacrosse in front of our eyes compared to what it was.
watching the Farrell boys, watching you know, all the kids, the Dick's sisters and Gino's daughter, and I mean everyone's kids. It makes us old, but it also is rewarding to sit back and enjoy it. You know.
Well, I mean, to put this into perspective for you guys, because of Paul was my coach and got me super stoked for lacrosse. This kid that was in my Cub Scout troop, meaning he was under 12 years old, I got to see him grow up, got to play for Collar City Kings strictly because of what you guys are doing. Just continuing to push forward, just creating a community. And it gave this guy, our young man, a chance to play before he went to college, which is something that wouldn't happen. So, I mean, you guys don't really realize how far your outreach has gone.
Yeah, you know, it's humbling when you think about it. And you know what, though? I mean, it's not a thing we're doing for fiscal gain or anything. We're doing it because you know what? Everyone should. It's no one's fault. Like right now, let's say it's no one's fault in Herkimer High School or Frankfurt or Secoit or Riskney that they don't have the game. It's you feel bad about it. You feel bad that there's none in Dolgeville, that there's none in Camden. Camden's had turf longer than a lot of our players have been alive, and it just sits idle. And Norwich down at the south, who has a box outside. I mean, we wish we could service the whole area more properly. But, you know, I mean, there's only so many of us who are blessed enough to have enough time to squeak out to do this. And there's only so many of us who can deliver that. And you know what? I mean, you're doing a service too, Beach. I mean, this sort of thing that we're doing here, this is stuff that Coach Decker and I mean, while we destroyed that tape of the mall walkers very purposefully, there's no question. I definitely probably ran over your phone, but you know, I mean, it's great. We're reaching an audience. It's unbelievable to me when we do these broadcasts, and all of a sudden there's like 167 views. You're like, are you kidding me?
And then the comments being, you know, that's what I love about it is people are watching, but you want to know what they can interact with it, and that's what we want. That's what makes it all the more is,
Right.
you know, the people reaching out and saying stuff. They're giving us commentary to continue the entertainment because that's what it is. We're putting smiles on people's faces, and that's I think what we're supposed to be doing.
Right. Dinky Thomas is like the etiquette police for that whole deal. I've never met Dinky
I don't know.
Hey, Guy.
Do you guys know who they are?
No idea.
No clue.
I love those guys. They are awesome. The comment section
They're
of the
awesome.
games is gold. Between the broadcast and the comments, you guys have it dialed in. I can't wait. And I got to tell you, Dinky Thomas has been with us since the Golden Bears game. He's very dedicated.
He's
a fan. He's a fan. He wants to hear it. You know, hockey had Cherry. Lacrosse has got Leary. Wait till we put a suit and tie on the man, and he takes the tie off, and then he takes the jacket off. The Elf train is rolling. He can say.
I mean, one of the best parts is, like, my wife loves going to the game just to listen to you two. She dies the whole way home. We spend talking about
a compliment. That's a compliment. You outpicked your coverage there too, by the way.
Listen, I gotta interrupt. Let me interrupt for a second. Not for nothing. What's that comment right there? My wife, she's sitting right next to me and everything. As far as the amount of comments that she's heard of me and Bob Leary over the course of the years, it's amazing that she sits there and still she puts a smile on her face and she shakes her head and she walks out of the room just because she knows it's going to be a while. But you know that's the one thing that I know Bob and myself both. I know myself and I know Bob. Well, what our wives, amen to them.
Amen.
Yes, we all owe them a thank you because we spend way too much time watching grown men play lacrosse. I mean, hands down. When you try to explain it to anybody else, they're like, "What the fuck? What's the matter with you?"
Yeah.
We are Peter Pan and
I got the luxury. I got the luxury of sitting next to her next month. Next month, 25 years next month, and amen. Thank you, Lord, for letting her ride with me. Woo! Love it.
Actually, me and my wife hit our 13-year anniversary in 2 days.
It's awesome. You know, and once again, you want to know who my biggest fan is? Where is she? There she is.
Hey, there you go.
That's what it's all about. You know, the family, the friends, you know, spreading the love of the game.
That's awesome. All right, is there anything you guys wanted to talk about? I mean, I know Herkimer. I think we covered it a little bit.
We did touch on it once or twice.
All right, well, we should probably end it here.